Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Seven Steps. As always, I am Seven, your guide to the weirder side of the internet. Tonight's story is about an unknown visitor to my rural home several days ago. If you've never lived out in the country, there are certain things that you just have to accept. Not every question will get an answer, and some things you just have to ignore. I guess I will have to preface this story with the fact that I haven't been able to sleep at a proper time recently. I'm not sure if it's just cabin fever from social distancing with COVID or something stemming from my ADHD, but my brain just won't shut down long enough to fall asleep. Around 4 a.m. one night, I was sprawled across my bed, watching the inside of my eyelids and listening to the wind move through the trees outside my window. Curled up at my side was my fierce protector, Meg, a 14-pound Chihuahua mix. I was about to roll over and start another ghost story playlist on YouTube when I heard something land on my roof. Being surrounded by trees, I'm used to sticks and branches landing on my roof, but they always sounded brittle and scrapey when they land. This landed with a softer, heavier series of thuds, and immediately brought both Meg and myself to attention. I quickly and quietly rolled out of bed and moved to the window. Peering out, I could make out the vague shapes of the tree and swing set in the dark backyard. Movement catches my eye from the back porch. One of the screen doors is blowing back and forth in the wind. As I make my way toward the other end of the house, I can smell something putrid that I can only describe as skunk and death. I flip on the porch light, hoping that if there was a wild animal or human prowler, that showing that someone was paying attention would be enough to drive them off. I moved to a side window to get a better look at the porch, and that's when I saw it. At first, all I noticed were reflective eyes, but as my eyes adjusted to the night, I noticed a large but emaciated silhouette. It almost reminded me of a large coyote, except that it hunched its shoulders more like a raccoon. I couldn't help but stare at the form, and it seemed to stare right back at me, as if the blinds were no longer separating us. Eventually, the form retreated from view, and after a while the smell subsided, and with it went the sense of unease. I sat up thinking about it until daylight when I walked around the property. I found no downed branches, and the roof was debris-free. That all happened several days ago. I've smelled the same stench twice since then, but haven't seen the form again, and I have no more answers now than I had then. I know that the form could have been any number of things, but none of them really fit right. Maybe my biases and desires tricked my brain into seeing something that wasn't really there. Or maybe I was just 7 steps away from being a completely different kind of story. Perhaps it's best not to think about it.